Where are you sitting right now? In what country?
At this moment, I'm in Korea, in Seoul, at a coffee shop on the campus. I'm studying right now.
And what time is it over there? Here,
Uh,
it's just past noon.
Now it's 7:30 in the evening.
Okay, so it's a nighttime.
Yeah.
And is that a normal time to go to a coffee place?
Most of the coffee shops are like open for a long time because almost all the students study in a coffee shop.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So you are a student there and you're there for a semester. What do you study at Howest?
In Howest, I study applied architecture in Bruges.
And how did you end up going to Korea?
So I've been to Korea before, and I really liked the experience, and I saw other students who were doing an exchange at that moment, and they told me about their experiences, and then I decided that I really want to experience the same thing. So I decided to prepare for a semester abroad.
And you did that even in the midst of the Corona period. You're one of the, I think, lucky students, we'll find out, who got to go further abroad than just Europe because it was possible. So how was that experience to make these decisions?
I really wanted to try till the end, until it was really not possible anymore to go. So I kept going, and I'm really happy I did. But of course, sometimes it was like you will be really nervous about things because nothing is certain, and everything keeps changing day by day, like regulations and laws and government that has new codes. So it was a real nervous period before going. But eventually, when you get there, you're happy you've been through all that.
You made it, yeah. Did
Yes,
you have to quarantine there?
yes.
And how did that go? You had to pay for it as well, I believe, right?
Yes, I've did 2 weeks of quarantine, and because we have like a long-term visa, we were allowed to stay in an Airbnb, so you could manage the price yourself, how expensive you wanted to go or how cheap you wanted to go. So that was really fine. Otherwise, the government quarantine is a little bit more expensive. So it went quite fine. It's 2 weeks. You can study the language if you're not like if you don't know yet, or you can do a lot. I think.
So you used your time well in
Yeah.
quarantine. That's good. And how is life over there now with the corona measures? You said they change every day here too. Today we'll
Yeah.
get a big announcement of changes. We went on Code Orange yesterday for
I heard.
Howest. Yeah. So I think everywhere we are in the world, there's some of this happening. But do you have the freedom to discover, the environment to do more than stay in your dorm or your student room, etc.?
In the beginning, when I just got out of quarantine, we were still level 2, and that was like quite like restrictive. And the thing is, with Korean people, they really follow everything, and if you have to do the same. It's not like you
Oh.
you have to. But then, like, since back to level 1, because everything, and right now we can go out again to more places. Like before we could go, but it was kind of restrictive to only bars, no clubs were open. But now, like, students, almost all of the Korean students are on the campus again. The campus was a little empty before, but now they're here. You can feel that the vibe is back, and it's really nice. We can go eat together, and everyone was careful, and they didn't want to meet up with big groups, and even that changed now. Like international and Korean students start meeting up, and it's really nice.
That's nice. I'm glad you get to have a broader experience and not just being
Yeah.
stuck in a lockdown or something. What about the
Yeah.
studies there? Is it different from your studies at Howest? So you're studying architecture, and seeing the buildings and the different architecture there must be extremely inspiring in itself. But what about the learning process?
So I chose to have courses of architecture design and from architecture engineering to see what I like the most. And it's been really nice and challenging sometimes, of course. But I think the professors are really good with explaining things and asking if everything is going all right. And if they see you didn't do an online lecture, which we have for some courses, that they still message you like you didn't do the courses, are you fine? So they really follow you, that you're being there even with corona, so you don't get packed with all the work and all the lectures. So it's really nice to know that they care.
Yeah, that's
Even
good.
during
That's a nice
time.
feeling.
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that. And have you made a lot of new friends and international friends, local friends? Are you linked when you arrive? Is there any sort of orientation week and you meet people or?
Yes, normally there is an orientation week and you get buddies like the first day, but due to Corona, then it was not that good to do those things, so they canceled that. But like because I'm in the international dorm on the campus, I met many people like in the first few days, and we are now a really tight small group because there aren't many students. It's still fine, but it's not that much as normally. So yes, we met many people, and since it's getting better again, I joined like clubs. Like I'm in a taekwondo club now, and
Oh, cool.
and they are like mostly Korean. I think I'm the only foreigner. So they were really nice. And we're going on a trip in a couple of weeks. So
Great.
yeah,
Sounds like you're having a good time. I see from your smile. And what about the language? Have you learned any? Can you understand anything or read anything or?
yes. When I was here 2 years ago, I was here for a language program. So that's when I learned Korean. But of course, if you don't use it in 2 years in Belgium, I didn't really use it. But now it's been a month and I'm getting into it again. It's really nice if you have like the basics or even a little bit more to talk with some people who don't really want to speak English or they're not used to speak English. So it's useful if you can speak a little Korean. And even sometimes professors don't want to do the full class in English, then
Oh,
it's good if you know.
yeah, I can imagine if you're being taught in another language, it's good if you
Yes.
understand it. And what about your past experiences with travel through Howest? I think you did China from Within last year. Unfortunately, it was canceled this past year, and will be again because of Corona. This is the real bad side about Corona, that it does interfere with some travel plans. Luckily, not for you to Korea. You also went to Denmark for 1 week with your studies, so you seem to be very internationally minded already. And what do
Yeah.
do you want to have an international career in the future, or?
Yes. I think it kind of started with my language program in Korea that I really liked it, being away from home, doing your own thing, meeting new people. And then when I saw the announcement of China from it within, and I saw some videos from the years before, I was like, okay, this is something I really want to do. And even though I was in my first year, because it's for second and third years, I tried and I got in. So
Good for you. So you have
yeah,
to go for it. And
yeah,
I have a feeling even when you're abroad, you just go for it. Like the
yeah,
Taekwondo, you say yes to things, which
yes,
is a
yeah. That's
great way
that's
to have
right.
experience.
You just have to go for it and then see whatever comes on your path. And yeah, China from Within was really nice. Meeting other Howest students like from other departments, which you usually not really do on the campus. So it was a great experience again to Asia because
Yeah.
I really like the culture.
Maybe you'll
And
end up living there and working there. Is that part of your plans? But you have an internship next semester as
yes,
well?
I applied for the internship. I'm looking for an internship right now. So
in South Korea or
yeah,
somewhere else. Okay, you want to stay. Okay.
yeah.
You'll make it happen. You'll make it
Yes.
happen. Hopefully everything goes okay with Corona and you're able to find something and stay there. That's great. Well, when you mentioned in choosing to go to Korea and in choosing to go to China from within, you had seen the testimonies of other students. So I really thank you for giving your own testimony now, which I hope some
Thank you.
students out there or their parents or whatever will see and think, screw you, Corona, I'm going to go for it and try anyway, whether to Europe or if I can get to Korea or wherever I can go, I'm gonna go for it. I would like to ask you before we go about how you perceive the international experiences you've had, how you perceive they've helped you personally, academically, in lining you up for what you have in mind for your future. Have you gained these what we call international competencies? And
I think like people back then, like in elementary and high school, know me as like a real close person. I don't talk that much in the beginning if I don't know people. But now when I'm here, like many friends told me, yeah, you're really outgoing. You talk with everyone. And it's like a whole different picture of me that they have. And I think it's, you open up a lot, you discover a new self, like a new person. And I think it really helped me to get out of my shell. And that's one of the things that I'm really thankful for, because I knew I had to come out, because I like now saying yes to everything. Back then I didn't. And I know there were experiences that now I'm thinking I should have said yes. So
no regrets, no regrets. Look what you've done since.
yes.
Yeah.
So that's, and then like I think my English is getting better
Sounds
day
great to
by
me.
day. Yes, I mean, thank you. So I think you learn a lot, not only about yourself but the world. You accept more people and cultures from, and that's something that I think in this like time, it's really important to accept many people and cultures, because that's sometimes a problem. And I'm happy I can say that I don't judge people anymore before knowing them, because I did that. I think many people do. It's something that's human, so you learn a lot.
That's good. And for your career?
Definitely I changed a lot. Like I want to do this and this and this, and now it's more like I want to have like a career where I can go like maybe 2 years somewhere and then 2 years another country, not really settling down at one. And yeah, to always learn new things, meet new people, having
You have the
memories.
international seed in you now. Like
Yes,
you
yes.
you can never stop. So, do you have any last bits of advice or tips for students who are making this decision now, or for their parents?
I would really apply for wherever you want to go. I know Corona isn't easy, but everything can turn. It can get better. You never know. I really didn't thought I would be here right now, and I went on with application, and I'm really happy I did that. And for the parents, I would say don't be too concerned, because sometimes it's safer somewhere else than in your home country.
Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot today
Yeah.
talking to students. Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting. I go back to your saying you even though there were doubts you could go, you continued with the process. And it's not always an easy process to apply for grants. It's a lot of administration. There's a lot of information on Leho. There's a lot of things you have to do yourself. But we see that as the start of this process of independence, of spreading your wings, of being able to go somewhere far away and have to work everything out a little bit on your own. So you went for it. You kept your stamina up to complete the application, even though there was like 50-50 chance you couldn't go. So I commend you for that. I think it's great advice to other students that don't get intimidated by the amount of paperwork you might have to do or the deadlines, that in the end, it's ultimately very worth it if I hear your different experiences. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, it's so nice speaking to you. Happy Erasmus Days, even though you're not on an Erasmus exchange, you're on a different sort of exchange, and that's wonderful. Glad you made it over there. And I look forward to hearing more about your adventures at the end of this semester, and I have a feeling at the end of next semester as well, if you get that internship that you're going for. You'll get it. Go for it.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Simeon. Have a lovely evening and enjoy your coffee and enjoy your time in South Korea. Okay, I'm going to shut this off. Let's see.